All right, real quick, last article of the night. This is with Jason Blum, or as you saw in the thumbnail, David Blum, because I suck. Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb reminded me that I wrote David Blum instead of Jason Blum, because once again, I suck. So Jason Blum has enlightened us on why they chose for Halloween Kills to go both to have both a theatrical release and release on Peacock as well. So yeah, Art says David Blum. I don't know, man. I made that thumbnail. I've said this story once already. I made that thumbnail at like 11 o'clock last night, and I was like half asleep. And I think I combined the two names, but whatever. Also, look at that thumbnail. What's
pretty insane?
Jason Blum and two Michaels behind him. All right, so
is that hinting something? Are we having twin Michaels?
Oh my god, he has a twin.
Yeah, that'd be.
What if there's a good twin and an evil? Like there's a good Michael and an even Michael, or an evil.
What's
Michael?
the good Michael gonna be doing? Just wearing the mask and bagging groceries at the Haddonfield grocery store.
Plum. Plum. Oh, good lord. All right, Blumhouse and Universal gave horror fans quite the surprise when they announced that Halloween Kills will be available to stream on Peacock on October 15th. Peacock. On the same day it opens in theaters. The streaming release date was announced in September following a splashy Venice Film Festival premiere, and after delaying the release for a full year in the early days of the pandemic and just a month before Halloween Kills hits theaters, so it might have seemed like a sudden and unexpected strategy change. But according to Blumhouse CEO Jason Blum, it wasn't a Universal or Peacock decision, it was his, and it was a decision that ties back to their last big slasher release, the delightful 2020 horror comedy Freaky. Freaky. I actually didn't get to see Freaky. I didn't see it. Speaking with Collider for Amazon Prime's video, Welcome to the Blumhouse film series, Blum explained, it was my idea. Oh, shoot.
You wanted to emphasize it was my idea.
I didn't mean to make that big. It was my idea to do it. Peacock didn't approach me. I approached them. I, like everyone else, am a big believer in the theatrical experience. I think eventually, there should be windows. I think Universal's strategy of the 3-week window is a great strategy, but I had a bad distribution experience with Freaky. That movie is a great movie, and it didn't get seen because the distribution of it all got twisted up. My fault. So the release of Freaky was actually a really big influence on the decision to split Halloween Kills on Peacock and on and in theaters. So and I guess that's true. Art says he didn't see Freaky either. I mean, I just didn't. I don't know. It for whatever reason I didn't see it. When did Freaky come out? Let me see.
I was about to type Freaky movie, and I was so scared with the result I was going to get.
Freaky came out November 13th, 2020. Yeah. That was still...
Oh, this is the one with...
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was interested in this one.
J-Dad said Freaky was okay, 6 out of 10. I heard it was decent. Like, I heard it was pretty okay. Yeah, it was. It was kind of like a horror version of Freaky Friday.
Or like what's it called?
Trading Places.
It was like no, not Trading Places. It was something with like Rob Schneider. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where like this crook gets his body switched by this high school girl, and she has to get her body back. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
That sounds like Freaky.
I know.
That sounds like the plot of Freaky.
It's exactly what Freaky is, but it was with Rob Schneider. Hold on, I need to look that up.
I don't know what you're talking about. The hot chick, yes. The hot chick. You're right. Art, thank you. The hot chick. It is called the hot... Yeah, I don't know how I didn't think of that. You're right. I don't know why I didn't... Thank you, Art. Thank you.
It was some like weird, like, Egyptian little voodoo trash and...
Yep, the hot chick with Regina George.
Yep. It was a funny movie.
God, I haven't seen the hot chick in ages.
Mm-hmm. That was back when Rob Schneider. That was back when Rob Schneider was on his game. The hot chick and the Bigelow saga.
Yeah.
The Bigelow saga, the Gigolo saga, fucking hilarious. Those are by far one of my favorite comedies I've seen. So yeah, we'll do some commentary on those. Sure.
Yeah. Directed by Happy Death Day filmmaker and longtime Paranormal Activity screenwriter Christopher Landon, Freaky brought body swap comedy to the slasher genre, earned extremely strong ratings. It's still sitting at an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes at the time of publishing, and had an A-list appeal, with Vince Vaughn delivering his most comedy-forward performance in years. It opened exclusively in theaters on 2,472 screens in North America on November 13th, 2020. Oh, there it is. I just had to scroll down to a 3.7 million opening weekend, ultimately taking home just 16.2 million worldwide. That is not a lot. But you also have to remember that was also when the pandemic was like, I mean, we were still kind of early on. I mean, that was almost a year ago now.
People were starting
So,
to get, frightful.
right.
So to
And it
speak.
was still, and that was even like Tenet had the same idea. And we went and saw Tenet. I think Tenet was one of the only films I saw in the theater that year.
Yeah,
Year.
imagine
Like, it really
that.
was.
Yeah.
And Tenet was a great movie. We actually both, Julie and I both really enjoyed Tenet. But it didn't do all that great because of the pandemic. So Blum continued, I didn't want to go through that experience again. I didn't want to have a movie that I'm really proud of, that I think is great, and have there be an excuse why people didn't see it. So I'm the one who pitched Universal, and then I pitched Jamie and David, and it was my idea. I stand behind it. I'm glad that we're doing it. And I completely understand what he's saying. Halloween Kills is a highly, highly anticipated movie. And either way, they want people to see it. I think with these, and I mean, I know Blumhouse is a big studio, but I mean, compared to, other studios, Blumhouse is still relatively medium sized. I get what he's saying. I think they want people to see Halloween Kills, regardless of whether they're vaccinated or not. Or whether they're willing to go to the movie theater or not.
Best way to
Because I
say
know
that.
some people are still, huh?
What? I was gonna say best way to say that. Like, you don't want vaccinated people going to the movie theaters. Just saying, guys.
What?
You were
What are you
saying
talking
like
about?
whether they're vaccinated or unvaccinated, going to the
I
movie
just meant,
theaters.
I mean, I hope you go get vaccinated, but like, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, like, I know some people are still leery about going to the movie theater and sitting in a theater. So I think they wanted people to be able to see Halloween Kills no matter what. I think that's kind of, and I think they're proud of that. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a really good thing. Hybrid streaming releases certainly aren't unheard of at this point in the pandemic, and the Halloween Kills day and date streaming release offers another variation on similar strategies embraced by Warner Media, HBO Max, and Disney/Disney Plus. Similarly, as Warner and Disney's release strategies continue to evolve, you should expect the same to happen with future Blumhouse movies. Case in point, Blum doesn't currently plan to take the same approach with Halloween Ends, the third and final Halloween film in David Gordon Green's trilogy, which is scheduled to arrive in theaters on October 2022. I don't want to do it for the third movie. I want to go back to traditional windows, but COVID is increasingly unpredictable, and that, God, ain't that the truth? And I didn't want to risk it again. I felt like I did that with Freaky, and it left me with a bad taste in my mouth. So I don't want to repeat that experience. I'm going to kind of skip over some of this. The windows collapsing are not good for the entertainment business. They're not good for the movie business, and they're not really even that good for the consumer. But I knew it was going to happen, and it did happen, and we have to live with it. You can't just stick your head in the ground and hope these things aren't going to happen. If you're making black and white movies, you can't just hope that they're never going to invent color. Eventually, they're going to invent color no matter how much you might like black and white. That is a perfect analogy for this whole streaming service thing. Like, they're there, just use it. And I think that's kind of what he's saying here with this black and white analogy. Obviously, COVID is not good, but props to them for rolling with the punches.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
for making the most of it. You know what I mean?
They're doing everything they need to properly adapt instead of just trying to weasel some money out of the initial directors. Like everyone is on board with the decision, and they're taking their time to hear every side of concern or praise for this decision. So I'm glad this one's probably the most well thought out plan for going from streaming to movies.
Yeah, for sure. So that's really the basis of that article. So we have a little bit of clarification. I know we did a video about this. We talked about this. A lot of people said the negative reviews or what drove them to put it on Peacock, and we had said no way in hell. Like that's a
That's not the
decision
case.
that was made
Yeah.
a few months ago, at least.
Yep.
And David Gordon Green David Gordon Green. What is wrong with me? I cannot keep these two guys straight these couple of days. Jason Blum, not David Blum, not Jason Gordon Green, not David Gordon Green, Jason Blum.
Because I was making fun of him for like 15 minutes before this.
Jason Blum. Darren, if you're watching, punch me. Jason Blum has clarified that obviously the decision to put it in theaters and on Peacock was his decision, and it was made out of a desire for wanting people to be able to see Halloween Kills. And of course, if the pandemic is still raging on and we're still in wave number 45 next October, then I'm sure they'll do the same exact thing again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, pray to God, we will be out of this by then. And they'll be able to just do a traditional theatrical release for Halloween Kills, but we'll have to see. J-Dead says, even with Peacock, I still think Halloween Kills makes a 66 million opening. That's a bold prediction, my friend, but I hope it does. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Art says, I'm curious to see how well Halloween Kills will do on Peacock. I think it'll do well.
My only concern is that Peacock isn't necessarily the most well-known or
that's fair
streaming service out there.
You know what I will say
it has good content.
It has good content, and I think a lot of people actually have the free version of Peacock.
Mhm.
Like I was actually talking to somebody I work with the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, we're watching the show on Peacock or whatever." And I think a lot of people have the free version.
Yes,
but I don't think a lot of people are paying for the advanced version that the ad-free whatever version that Halloween Kills is going to be on. So I don't know. I mean, I'm with Art and J-Dead. I'm with both of you guys. I hope Halloween Kills. I have a good feeling after seeing not only what Shang-Chi kind of looked like it was a fluke, that it was just like it was the big Marvel movie at the time and it was making a ton of money. But after seeing Venom, and Venom topped Shang-Chi. Venom destroyed, for all intents and purposes, Venom destroyed the box office.
I know why.
For right now.
We all know why. Because everyone's already on the assumption that Venom is connected to Spider-Verse, and the Spider-Verse is already. I wasn't gonna spoil it.
I'm kidding.
Like fans think that. Fans think that this Venom movie is connected to the Spider-Verse, and everyone's willing to go watch it over Shang-Chi because it's connecting to a larger story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why.
Yeah. So I'm with you guys. I hope that Halloween Kills does really, really well theatrically and on Peacock, but we'll have to see. I know, Miguel, you got to hop out of here.